Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Jan 2630, 2026. Exposes Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan digging for information on the new Logan designer. As we always do on early edition day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, and then we're going to talk about next week. On Wednesday, January 21st, we've got Lee Finnegan and Sheila Carter picking up where their conversation left off on Tuesday after Deacon Sharp leaned away from Sheila's intimate advances. That's when Hope Logan showed up after Sheila left and told her dad to go for it with Taylor Hayes. I do wonder if Sheila is going to share her suspicions with Lee that another woman may have her eye on Deacon. Lee will likely sympathize after all the cheating that Jack Finnegan did, although ironically, some of it was with Sheila. Steffi Forrester again pleads with Taylor to please drop Deacon as a patient. She's going to pick back up with that conversation that we already heard on Tuesday. You know how Bold and the Beautiful likes to repeat dialogue over and over? Steffi continues to poke and prod her mom about cutting Deacon loose. But later, it looks like he shows up because also on Wednesday, Deacon and Taylor find it harder and harder to fight their feelings for each other. They may give in just a little. I'm expecting a kiss, though I'm not expecting them to jump straight to doing the naughty on the couch in her office at the hospital. Plus, Electra Forrester was supposed to be there for dinner, and Will Spencer is grilling chicken, but then Electra had to work late. Of course, RJ Forrester is lurking around and keeping a close eye on her. It looks like Daphne Rose might score a winner-winner chicken dinner with Will while his girlfriend is stuck late at the office. Also at the beach house this week, and this may be what happens when Electra is working late, we know Daphne is going to tell Will that she wants to repay his kindness for letting her stay there however she can. She implies that there might be something else on offer besides a rent payment. This is very sketchy, but also vague enough where she can play it off and deny that it meant what it sounded like. On Thursday, January 22nd, we've got things continuing to intensify between Deacon and Taylor. Meanwhile, everybody who knows about this blossoming potential romance is very worried and trying to keep Sheila from finding out about it. In that group of people are Steffi, Hope, Deacon, and Finn. I'm sure that array is going to broaden. All of them are going to scramble to keep the Deacon and Taylor secret from Sheila so she doesn't go do something terrible. Electra tells Will that she's got some concerns about Daphne on Thursday. It looks like Electra suspects that Will may have another woman checking him out. I don't think at this point Electra is getting full stalker Luna Nozawa vibes off Daphne, but I do think she's concerned. I suspect Electra may show up in time to overhear Daphne's provocative offer of repayment in non-monetary terms. On Friday, January 23rd, it looks like Electra is on top of it because she corners Daphne with some hard questions. However, the ex-art teacher assures Electra that she's not crossing any lines with Will. That just sounds like straight-up gaslighting that she got from the school of Luna Crazy. I still think there's something there we don't know about between Daphne and Luna. I also think it's pure lip service, because Daphne seems increasingly into Will. She's already been checking him out when he comes up in his swimsuit to use the outdoor shower. I realize the shower's outdoors, but you shouldn't be sitting around watching your friend's boyfriend shower, right? Also on Friday, Finn tries to dodge his terrible mom, Sheila, when he goes over to Il Giardino. Of course, his and Steffi's kids love the pizza that Deacon serves. But Sheila won't let Finn get away without a chat, and starts blathering about how Taylor fixed her marriage. Of course, Finn knows that Taylor and Deacon are into each other, so he doesn't want anything to do with this conversation. Finn is going to run back to Steffi to report everything Sheila says, especially if she mentions having concerns about Deacon seeming distracted. Anything that could put her on the path to finding out about Taylor is what Steffi is terrified of. For the week of January 26th through the 30th, February sweeps kick off on Thursday, January 29th. It runs through February 25th, so all the storylines are going to be picking up momentum. Ridge and Brooke want to know who Katie Logan hired as lead designer, and Donna Logan's going to be stuck having to lie. She won't like it when Brooke grills her. When Katie first mentioned hiring a lead designer, Brooke was already asking, "Who is it? Tell me." When she reports back to Ridge that Katie's made this hire, they're going to be insatiably curious. They might start reaching out to find out who applied for the job to figure it out for themselves. I don't think they feel threatened yet, but that'll come later. Bill Spencer is proud that Katie landed Eric Forrester as her lead designer. So, Bill is going to be so excited to embarrass Ridge with Logan's success, and the fact that his Forrester dad is on board with the Spencers. What's ironic is that strictly by biology, Logan is the firm with a Forrester lead designer. As RJ himself brought up the other day, he, Ridge, Thomas Forrester, and Steffi are all Maroons. So the Forrester designer is a Logan, while everybody else over at Forrester are Maroons. This is especially true since Zende Forrester Dominguez has now moved from contract to recurring status. Bill's going to want to rub the Eric thing in Ridge's face, but he's going to have to wait because Katie and Eric are going to continue keeping it secret for now. Will is going to be on fire about RJ hitting on Elektra, which is happening already. I'm sure RJ is going to take the opportunity to lurk around her at work. Although Will and RJ had a tentative agreement to get along better than their dads do, that's not going to last because 2026 spoilers say they are rivals soon. Steffi is more and more concerned about the threat Taylor faces because of this crush she and Deacon have on each other. Hope and Lee both agree that Sheila's an issue, but more so, they want her out of Deacon's life, and they want Taylor in it if that's what'll get Sheila out the door. I think they're being a little more cavalier with the risk. Taylor and Deacon continue to heat up. Elektra is on high alert, and she is watching Daphne very closely. That girl is giving off some Creeper Luna-esque vibes. We should see Lee getting an official offer to come to Logan soon. I'm sure she'd be floored to find out that Katie landed Eric by bringing Lee on board. She's going to have to keep the secret as well. Bill and Katie may also try to persuade Will to leave Forrester and join Logan, but he's not going to do that because RJ's sniffing around Elektra and being problematic. We're going to have to wait and see if Eric brings in that whole collection that he's already designed. I did see some chatter on some soap social media about whether Forrester owns those designs Eric made. I did a little research, and the answer is no. First of all, he doesn't have a non-compete clause. He doesn't even have a Forrester employment contract. Because he's the co-founder and one-third owner, he and Stephanie Forrester together owned 75%. He designed them at home, and he wasn't using Forrester materials or sitting on Forrester property. It was not assigned or requested work. The designs were not accepted, produced, or even viewed officially at the company. Steffi caught a glimpse of them, but Ridge refused to look at anything and pushed his dad out. Once Eric is no longer an employee, which happened because of Ridge, any claim that Forrester might have on those is very weak, especially since they were never formally submitted. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Thursday, January 22nd include everyone rushing to try to keep Sheila in the dark about the true nature of Deacon and Taylor's relationship. Plus, Elektra tells Will about her Dylan concerns. When Deacon learned that Sheila had concealed the truth about Luna being alive, he was crushed. He genuinely believed Sheila had changed, and discovering she'd kept such a massive secret left him shaken and questioning their entire relationship. Deacon turned to Taylor for support, and she offered him guidance and perspective. However, their dynamic shifted from professional to personal. Taylor attempted to put distance between them, but neither could fully walk away, and they continued seeing each other. Steffi soon realized what was unfolding and tried to recruit Hope to help stop it before Sheila found out. Instead, Hope welcomed the relationship, relieved to see her father moving on. Her reaction only intensified Steffi's concern, heightening her fear that her family was heading towards serious trouble. Steffi begged Taylor to dump Deacon as a client, but she didn't. Instead, Deacon and Taylor gave in to their feelings for each other. Meanwhile, Steffi hired a down-on-his-luck Dylan to work with Elektra and Will at Forrester Creations. Will and Elektra also have Dylan living with them. However, Elektra recently asked Dylan to back off. Bold and Beautiful is not typically subtle when it comes to teasing the direction of a story. For example, we definitely know Elektra and RJ are going to be a thing, and likewise, we can clearly see that the days are numbered for Steffi and Hope's latest truce. Despite Hope teaming with Carter to make a power grab at Forrester Creations, she and Steffi were able to set aside their differences and come together when they believed their mutual baby daddy, Liam, was knocking on death's door. After the flood of relief came when they learned he was only duped into thinking he was dying, Hope's line was reinstated, and Steffi gave the thumbs up to Hope and Liam's reunion. All's well that ends well, right? Not so much. A new battle is brewing, thanks to Bold and Beautiful inserting the two in the Taylor, Deacon, Sheila debacle on opposite sides of the issue. The issue? Taylor's very life could be in danger should she decide to pursue Deacon, who, as Steffi has warned repeatedly, is Sheila's husband. TM. Steffi's in a full-blown panic, sounding all the alarms as she tries to dissuade her mother from her feelings for Deacon. She point-blank asked Hope to convince her father to leave Taylor alone, given the possible consequences. Hope, however, along with her brother Deke, are totally down for the idea of Deacon swapping the psychopath for the psychiatrist. And who can blame them? Steffi, that's who. As one Bold and Beautiful fan pointed out on social media, Hope's conversation with Deacon in Tuesday's episode made it clear that she didn't heed her rival's warning. The writing, therefore, is on the wall for what's coming. Indeed, the scene has been set for Steffi and Hope's next war, and as we mentioned in the headline, this one could have actual casualties, namely Taylor, and anyone who gets in Sheila's way. If Hope's prodding leads to Deacon going for it with Taylor, and Sheila harms her as a result, Steffi is going to be pointing the finger squarely at Liam's wife. It will be out-and-out war again, and all manner of fallout is possible. Steffi could cut Hope's line again, or Hope could decide to pack up HFTF and defect to Logan, which would leave Brooke apoplectic. Bring on the messiness. Steffi arrives at Taylor's office and realizes she's recording notes on Deacon. He's still her patient. Steffi erupts at her mother. You can't be with him. You know that, right? Taylor is proud of what she's accomplished with Deacon, and they can do more together professionally. Steffi harps about what Sheila would do if she found out. We both know what she's capable of. She could snap or go crazy at the thought of losing Deacon. Taylor admits she started to feel something, but she didn't act on it. It reminds her she can move on from Ridge. Steffi restates that Deacon's the wrong guy. You can't get involved with Sheila's husband. TM. Steffi drew a line with Finn, and now she's doing the same with her mother. They can't mess with Sheila. You need to drop Deacon as a patient. Pulling her mother into her arms, Steffi cries, I can't lose you, Mom! I can't lose you! At Deacon and Sheila's place, she tries to flirt with her husband, but he doesn't respond to it. Suddenly, she asks what's going on between him and Taylor. He looks wary and says he has an appointment with her today. Sheila chirps about Taylor being good for their marriage and then leaves. Hope arrives, and she also wants to know what's going on between him and Taylor. Deacon swerves to her and Liam. Hope says things are wonderful, but reminds him he's evading her question. Deke told her about him and Taylor. Deacon's irked about Deke telling Hope and explains that it's complicated. Hope says Steffi mentioned it to her as well. It's a delicate situation, but she doesn't want him to deny himself. If Taylor makes him happy, if they really have something, she'll support him in that. Deacon admits that Taylor is a remarkable woman, but he's a married man. That said, Taylor really made an impact on him and how he sees himself. He sees now that he's worthy of success and love. Deacon has developed feelings for Taylor, but he can't go there. It's too dangerous. Sheila would go nuts. That makes him afraid for Taylor. In the restaurant, Sheila's pleased to see Lee since she needs to talk. She complains about Deke and Hope not being supportive enough. Lee doesn't think she should be surprised. They may never come around. If they're truly committed, it doesn't matter what anyone says. Sheila's just grateful Taylor's in their corner. In the Forrester showroom, Will interrupts Electra and RJ and muses. So it's true. The golden boy is back. RJ explains he came back because his parents got back together. They go over RJ and Electra not being related by blood and having never met before today. RJ lets Will know he thinks his girlfriend is beautiful and sweet. RJ tells Will he'll be sticking around for a while. Will assumes they'll be working together and suggests they don't behave like their dads. RJ replies, Sounds good to me. Will kisses Electra goodbye after discussing dinner. RJ slyly watches. At the beach house, Dylan greets Will and they make small talk. He says he's making dinner for him and Electra. She'll be sure to give them their privacy. At that very moment, at work, RJ listens as Elektra takes a call from Ivy, who needs her to stay late. Will takes Elektra's call, saying she won't be over tonight. Suddenly, she's worried about whether Ivy and the Forresters approve of her spending the night. She cherishes their connection, though. Will assures her he understands and disconnects. Dylan appears and asks if everything's okay. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that the next 3 weeks, January 19th through February 6th, reveal that some exciting and somewhat dangerous actions will be taking place. Things are heating up. Let's take a look at what will be happening starting with the week of January 19th to 23. Eric Forrester has decided to become Katie Logan's lead designer at Logan. Currently, Eric doesn't want Brooke Logan to know about his decision to work for Katie Spencer. Unfortunately, Eric finds himself having to explain why he is at Logan at all. Donna Logan Forrester will push for the truth to come out about Eric's role at Forrester Creations. Donna even begs Eric to owe back to Forrester part-time. However, Katie sides with Eric and points out that Brooke and Ridge Forrester pushed him out of Forrester Creations and into retirement. Will Spencer's girlfriend, Elektra Forrester, and RJ Forrester will get to know each other better, and RJ will learn that Elektra and Will are an item. Will and RJ will have a tense run-in soon. Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan continue to try and keep Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes apart. Elektra grows concerned about Dylan. Sheila Sharp's crazy seems to be growing out of control, and it seems she is catching on to what is going on with Deonte and Taylor. Sheila may even begin to investigate, as Deacon continues to sneak around behind her back. Part of Deacon may even try to back off to protect Taylor. Unfortunately, Deacon will be torn between protecting Taylor and being with the woman he truly wants to be with. Has Sheila completely ruined their relationship and pushed Deacon right into Taylor's waiting arms? Meanwhile, Carter Walton and Daphne Rose continue to work toward their wedding. The truth about Eric's role at Logan will cause issues. February sweeps drama. Will everything break loose this week as a major part of February sweeps? Fashion wars versus matters of the heart. RJ is very taken with Elektra, and Dylan is determined to get her hands on Will. The next 3 weeks promises to be just wants fans need to see. Keep watching to see what happens. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers show that Taylor Hayes could go MIA. Will a suspicious Steffi Forrester Finnegan suspect her MIL Sheila Sharp? You bet she would. Steffi knows about Taylor's attraction to Deacon Sharp and has argued with her mom about the dangers of being with Sheila's husband. Sheila is a nutcase who has been contained for some time now, but her internal time bomb has been ticking down, and we suspect she will unleash the fury of 1,000 suns on Taylor. If she thinks she meddled with Deacon, Steffi is right to be worried since Sheila has harmed her and Taylor, and many others over the years. While Sheila has tried valiantly to become a better person, we sense that her inner demon is always ready to pop out. Spoiler alert, despite their effort to fight temptation, Taylor and Deacon slip up. Yep, the patient and therapist are going to cross a line, and you can bet it won't stop with a kiss. During the week of January 19 to 23, Deacon and Taylor share a steamy kiss, and we predict that once the dam is breached, the lust will not be contained. Sheila will find out about her fickle husband Deacon and Taylor sooner or later, and when she does, the pair best don asbestos suits. Sheila could surprise us and remain a figure of composure and show us that she really has grown up. Then again, how boring would that be? We suspect that instead of putting on her big girl pants, Sheila instead dusts off her broom and flies free. It's possible that the bad girl could even reach new depths of depravity, just like her dead granddaughter Luna Nozawa. If Taylor goes missing at some point, Steffi will assume the worst, that Sheila kidnapped her. We know that Sheila is sneaky, so don't be surprised if Sheila texts from Taylor's phone, telling her family that she just needed a little break to go save the world. Spicy, the Bold, and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Sheila loses it after getting intel on Taylor and Deacon's betrayal. And we will have all the dirt right here. The Bold and the Beautiful's Finn is devoted to his wife Steffi. Nothing could tear them apart. So, Sin fans can rest easily. As for Tanner Novlin, he's getting a new love interest in his classic Liberty Biberty ads. A new Liberty Mutual commercial premiered recently, and Novlin might have met his match. Novlin is looking for love in the Liberty Bibberty ads. He met a woman named Marcia through a dating app. The two met at the bench he usually sits at in the classic commercials. The two realize they both share a love for mispronunciations. Sparks immediately fly, and they fall in love. What's even more interesting is that they have the same taste in fashion. Novlin and his match sported all-black outfits, down to their leather jackets. Check out the hilarious ad for yourself below. Up to this point, Steffi and Finn's marriage has remained strong. She feels safe and secure with her love by her side. Finn and Steffi even survived the wrath of Luna, even after she met her fate. All has been quiet for them. They celebrated a peaceful holiday until a new drama popped up. Steffi's mom, Taylor, has been getting close to Deacon, who's married to Sheila. This is problematic since Deacon is married to Sheila, who shot Steffi and Finn. She's not a woman who will go away peacefully. In fact, Sheila warned that she would not let anyone get in the way of her marriage to Deacon. Novlin rolled up to the Sunset Las Palmas studio set. In a new Instagram post, he panned his camera around the parking lot and included the song "Okay We Back" by Andy Mineo and Mark Morrison. In the caption, Novlin teased, "What's Dr. Finn up to at bold and beautiful CBS?" B&B fans flocked to the comments section to admit they missed Finn. They wanted to know what he's been up to lately. This suggests that fans will get more of IEN. While Novlin's not getting a new love interest on the soap, something is bound to shake up this couple. What are your thoughts on Novlin's new Liberty Bibberty ad? Sound off below in the comments section. The Bold and the Beautiful recently delved into Will's rivalry with RJ. The two met again at Forrester Creations, where they agreed not to feud like their fathers. RJ made his triumphant return, as Will tries to find his place without his mom working there. RJ was immediately attracted to Elektra upon meeting her. Elektra is in a committed relationship with Will, but that's not going to stop RJ from getting to know her better. He could use his proximity to Elektra at work to distract Will. Their close-knit friendship could cause Will to make mistakes on important business matters or projects. As evidenced in the past, Will has prioritized his romance over his other duties, which has made him feel behind. RJ could use this to his advantage by making himself look like he's better suited for the job. Or he could turn the tables by trying to romance Elektra. Will might become so emotionally distraught that he resigns to avoid the pain of seeing them together. RJ is a trained fashion designer, whereas Will has no experience. Will is still trying to find his footing in the fashion world. He only agreed to work at Forrester Creations after he met Elektra, and sparks flew between them. RJ could remind the company that Will belongs at Spencer Publications with Bill, Asim, Katie, and Ai and Liam. He could patronize Will and undermine his contributions to Forrester Creations. RJ might see Will as an amateur who got the job due to nepotism. He could make Will's work environment so toxic that he would want to quit his job. Will might decide to work for his father's media empire instead. Or he might decide to join Katie at her rival fashion house. Will's slowly getting pushed out of Forrester Creations. Ridge might have informed him that he still has a place there, but there's a quiet shift behind the scenes. There's more focus on Elektra's jewelry line, Hope's couture collection, and Daphne's fragrance. RJ can align himself with these profitable new ventures, which could make Will's role seem redundant or unnecessary. RJ's grand return to the Bold and the Beautiful is already turning heads. One person who has already attracted RJ's attention is Elektra. A connection is forming between the two, and fans are mixed on the potential pairing. When RJ returned, many fans suspected the writers would pair him with Elektra. Their suspicions were right, because, as seen on the Friday, January 16th episode, the two were already flirting. Although RJ and Elektra are Forrester cousins, they're not blood-related since RJ's dad Ridge is a Marone. Now that the details are out in the open, the path is clear for an RJ and Elektra pairing. The possibility of RJ and Elektra becoming a couple is a hot topic with fans. On B&B's Instagram page, fans voiced their opinion on a post of the two lovebirds. Many fans were against the cousins' romance. This is gross! Don't do it, B&B! Another fan hoped that Elektra stayed true to her boyfriend. I'm here for Will and Elektra. Leave them be. Drama with Dylan is enough. However, a few fans were willing to give RJ and Elektra a chance. I think they're sweet, declared one viewer. Finally, something interesting. I really like this. I hope he has a good story with Elektra, wrote one commenter. RJ and Elektra's budding friendship spells trouble for her relationship with Will. Will won't be too happy with his girlfriend spending so much time with his cousin. If Will's jealousy increases, it will undoubtedly cause issues at home and at work. Tensions will arise if Will suspects RJ is trying to make a move on his girl, and things might turn physical. But Will asserting his dominance won't win any favors with Elektra. She's always viewed Will as kind and caring, but this new version will have her questioning their relationship. The addition of RJ, along with Dylan, is going to test the young lovebirds. With Will and Elektra clashing over RJ, this works out for Dylan, who has a crush on Will. Dylan will certainly play a factor in this love triangle. Perhaps she'll strike up a friendship with RJ to spark Elektra's jealousy, or maybe she'll plot to push RJ and Elektra together so she can have Will to herself. There's a messy love square brewing on The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say it's anyone's guess who will be with who in Los Angeles by Valentine's Day. Will Spencer and Elektra Forrester's relationship has endured a lot, but it's no match for a double attack from Dylan and RJ. Here's what's coming up next week on Bold and Beautiful. Elektra Forrester has girl's intuition, and she knows that her homeless roommate Dylan has a crush on her man Will Spencer Jr. Elektra isn't paranoid. The art teacher is clearly crushing on her new landlord. Rumor has it, Dylan might even have a diabolical plan to win him over. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Will Spencer, Elektra Forrester, RJ Forrester will all be working at Forrester Creations, and the office is going to be getting a bit crowded. It won't be long before Miss Dylan notices the chemistry between Elektra and RJ, and she can use it to her advantage. Previews hint a huge rivalry coming between RJ Forrester and Will Spencer Jr., like fathers like sons. Dylan can use RJ and Elektra's flirting at work to her advantage, and might even encourage Will to think his girlfriend is cheating on him. In the meantime, she can give him a shoulder to lean on. In Dylan's defense, what she is doing is certainly self-serving and diabolical, but she's not completely wrong. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Elektra will be paying a little too much attention to her cousin, and they will even bond over their mutual hatred for his ex-girlfriend, Luna Nozawa. Do you think that Elektra and Will's relationship is doomed? Is Dylan going to get her way and get Will Spencer all to herself? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, reveal Steffi growing more unhinged than ever about her mother's love life. Steffi Forrester Finnegan is in a Steffi-like panic over the idea of her mother becoming involved with Deacon Sharp. She is sure that Sheila Carter will go in for the kill if she ever gets wind that something more than a doctor-patient relationship is going on. First, Steffi appeals to Hope Logan. Will Hope just talk to her father and end this already? Surely Deacon will listen to his beloved daughter. Too bad that Hope is all in on a Taylor Hayes and Deacon relationship. Anything to get her dad away from Sheila. In fact, she and Deke Sharp are giddy about this. Realizing that Hope isn't going to help, Steffi once again visits her mother and begs her to listen to reason. Read this: The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers: Taylor goes missing. Steffi suspects kidnapper. Sheila? Does Taylor want to get herself killed by having an affair with a mad woman's husband? Taylor once again defends herself and insists that nothing will happen between her and Deacon. But can she really make that promise and keep it? Too bad Steffi seems to be too late to stop what she sees as a slow-motion train wreck. Deacon and Taylor are growing closer than ever and can't seem to resist their attraction to one another. Taylor does her best to tell Deacon that nothing can happen between them, but Deacon is insistent and just might get his wish. Sheila still seems to think that Taylor saved her marriage when Deacon is on his way to ruining it. Does Deacon feel any guilt at all with what he is doing? He is playing with fire, and also playing with two women's feelings. Taylor knows what is happening is wrong, but Deacon doesn't seem to see it that way. And Sheila will certainly feel it is wrong. The question remains, How changed is Sheila? She claims she is a new woman, but is she? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that if there's anyone who keeps her word, you better believe that it's Steffy Forrester. That's because she is threatening to pull the plug on her marriage with Dr. John Finnegan, should his mother Sheila Carter even touch her mother Taylor Hayes. But again, it seems like Steffy is just making this all about herself. Finn has absolutely no control over his mother Sheila, and there's no way that he's going to stop her from doing something to Taylor, even if she dared to try. But of course, it seems like Steffy wants to be the dramatic one and say that if her mother gets hurt, then she's going to be in just as much pain, and that's why she thinks the reasonable thing to do is file for divorce. Steffy is basically punishing Finn for being guilty by association, when Sheila is literally the mother that he never knew he had. Of course, Steffy doesn't think of it that same way. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that she's going to try and intervene and get her mother Taylor to stop talking to Deacon Sharp, but that's not going to be easy. She's already caught feelings. However, if there is one person that Steffy should really be upset with, it's her own mother, Taylor Hayes. She is an adult, and she knew what she was doing when she decided to enter an emotional affair with a married man. But that all might be too late, as Taylor is going to regret ever getting close to Deacon, let alone allow him in her office. Things are about to get pretty ugly, as there's no way that Sheila is going to just stand there and allow another woman to take her man. Meanwhile, Steffy is going to simply dump her man because she needs to make this about her heartache and nothing less. Of course, the Bold and the Beautiful fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what's going to happen next with this storyline. The Bold and the Beautiful pushes tension higher as Will faces huge pressure at Forrester. His sudden ambition sparks new questions. Fans now wonder if the show is preparing another exit. The storyline shifts fast, and the stakes rise for the popular teenager. Will has been shown stepping into a new drive for success. The change feels forced, and viewers have noticed the shift. His new dedication arrives after Katie leaves Forrester for her own fashion house. The move shakes Will, and the reaction feels intense. His concern about his career hints at deeper issues. The young intern seems oddly invested in Forrester's future. The choice raises suspicion about the writer's plans. Will's focus also clashes with his earlier carefree lifestyle. The change creates a very sudden pivot for the character. The show highlights Will's position in a very deliberate way. Ridge insists Will stay secure at Forrester. His praise feels a little too grand for a simple intern. The lines appear designed to build a future conflict. That conflict could lead to a dramatic exit. Will is wealthy and never needed the job. His new seriousness feels unnatural. That detail strengthens speculation that the writers are pushing him toward a major turning point. A possible departure might tie into Katie's new fashion house. The separation could spark emotional fallout for mother and son. Ridge and Brooke could test Will in a risky storyline. They might ask him to spy on Katie's new brand. That request would place the teen in a painful position. The tension between loyalty and pressure could overwhelm him. The emotional weight might drive him to walk away completely. The original Sally storyline once used similar beats. The show loves revisiting old twists. Will could be caught photographing emerging designs. The fallout from that betrayal could damage every relationship around him. A scandal could send Will out of town, echoing similar past exits. Elektra has played a major part in Will's recent story. Their romance gives him a tether inside Forrester. Her influence could shape his next steps. If pressure rises, he may leave with her support. The writers could use their bond to spin a fresh, youth-driven arc. A joint exit also remains possible. The couple has been shown in constant close scenes. Their shared moments draw attention to a potential team departure. This type of story often leads to an off-screen reset. The show could decide to rebuild Will later with a stronger focus. The Bold and the Beautiful may be preparing another emotional exit as Will's story grows stranger. His new determination and rising pressure raise real questions about what comes next. Fans could soon see a major change that impacts several characters. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for every update. A new wave of chaos forms on The Bold and the Beautiful as Sheila senses betrayal and prepares for retaliation. Her unraveling emotions push multiple characters toward unexpected danger. Steffi, Finn, Taylor, and Deacon soon realize that Sheila's next move could shatter their fragile peace forever. Sheila's world collapses when she discovers Taylor's growing bond with Deacon. Her reaction promises to be explosive because her obsession rarely allows room for reason. The emotional fallout pushes her deeper into twisted logic, and her next steps place her on a dangerous path. This betrayal cuts Sheila more deeply than she expected. Her rage fuels a desire to reclaim control over Deacon, no matter the cost. Several people become unwilling players in her war, and her unpredictable behavior leaves no one feeling safe. The fallout spreads fast as tensions rise. Deacon believes he can escape Sheila's grip, but that hope fades quickly. Sheila's obsession has always thrived on possession, and Deacon's emotional shift might trigger her darkest impulses. He stands inches from danger as she begins spiraling deeper into her delusions. Hope and Deke unknowingly make things worse when they celebrate their father's new direction. Their enthusiasm blinds them to Sheila's nature and the risks ahead. If Sheila believes Deacon must stay loyal to her, she could decide that no one else deserves him either. Steffi already sensed trouble brewing long before the truth surfaced. Her instincts rarely fail, and this time they warn her strongly. Sheila's rage could hit anyone close to Taylor, putting Steffi and Finn on high alert as tensions rise in Los Angeles. Finn knows firsthand how dangerous Sheila becomes when cornered. His past trauma shapes his current fears, intensifying his determination to protect Steffi. Together, they prepare for the unpredictable storm that follows Sheila's unraveling grip on reality. Taylor's affection for Deacon complicates everything in her already tangled life. Her judgment slips, and that lapse places her squarely in Sheila's crosshairs. She soon realizes that falling for a former patient does more than damage her reputation. It opens the door to real danger. Ridge will not stand by as Taylor's safety crumbles. His protective nature draws him back into Sheila's orbit, whether he wants it or not. This involvement pushes Ridge onto Sheila's list, making him another potential target as her fury spreads. Lee believes she understands Sheila well enough to calm her. That assumption could become her greatest mistake yet. One attempt to challenge Sheila's plan may shift the dynamic in an instant, turning their fragile alliance into a deadly confrontation.